Hi, Dylan Heisen here, giving you a short review of the last three episodes of Star Wars Rebels Season 1, Call to Action, Rebel Resolve, and Fire Across the Galaxy. I've been going through all of Season 1 and the associated movies in preparation for Season 2 podcasting for the Overly Animated podcast, which you can check out at overlyanimated.com. So I finished Season 1, hooray! I haven't seen, the film that comes after this yet, Siege of Lothal yet, and I'll do a separate video about that. But Season 1 finished. These last three episodes were kind of a blur, hard to separate them into critical quality of each one. It was kind of like a three-part finale. They're all very action-oriented, which can be not risky, but it can like make for just kind of nondescript action episodes, especially if you have a property such as Star Wars, what you're making your show off of. And I think the first two kind of fell into that category. Stuff happened. I mean, call to action. We see Tarkin get introduced, which didn't mean a lot to me. I need to rewatch the movies, and but I know he's a person. And we got Kanan getting captured, which is an interesting decision. I kind of like that. It raises the stakes. It was not, a typical tropey capturing. I don't know if the master getting captured is a thing, like a trope. So I think that was good, and that episode is pretty good. I don't really remember much of Rebel Resolve. I guess I liked it though. By the way, I should mention that I mentioned this before, but I think the decision to continue to have the focus of the season be on Lothal is really good, because one of the big drawbacks to Star Wars to me, not drawbacks, but barriers in terms of getting into the property fully immersed, is how vast how vast just everything is involving Star Wars. You have all the movies, then you have all the shows, then you have all the extended properties, but even beyond that, it's just an entire universe. Like how there's so many planets, what do you have an emotional attachment to? That's kind of my thing. And this series, I think smartly for its first season, just focuses on Lothal, which the entire season, it's not obvious at first watching the show, I think, that the entire thing is just on Lothal. I mean, there's a few exceptions, like one or two episodes is not on that planet, but really for the most part, and especially just all of the end of this season has just been on Lothal, and it allows you to get attached to this world, and it connects it to Ezra, the main character. And I think it's just a very successful idea and really good planning by the show. Fire Across the Galaxy was the last episode, the finale. I don't want to call it hugely successful, but I thought it was one of the best of the series, potentially the best of the series. It was very good. The climactic fight between the Inquisitor and Kanan and Ezra was incredible. I loved that. I've talked about how much I love the Inquisitor as a character this whole set of video reviews, and he was really good here. And adding Ezra in, finally we get to see kind of this double-pronged fight with Kanan and Ezra. We've kind of been waiting for that for a while. I thought that it pulled through. I loved seeing Kanan use Ezra's lightsaber, shooting at him and then, bringing it out. It's interesting because I don't normally with shows, I don't get into the action sequences. That's not my favorite element of it, but kind of in this show, it a little bit is. Seeing it's kind of just the most distinctive part of the show, and seeing that this fight between the Inquisitor and Kanan, and how, of course Ezra had a fall, and it's of course he survives, and it's a little bit of a tropey thing there, but overall that was just one of the most stunning sequences of the series, and I was a very big fan. The rest of it, I liked the tie and how they tied that in for the previous thing, no pun intended, with the painting of it. I thought that was all very good. And then they bring Darth Vader in at the end, so that's very exciting for the future. I like that. It's a good idea because we've kind of been localized in terms of characters. We've had a few hintings of multiple important characters from the movies. This is, the first major one. Of course we had Tarkin here, and then some isolated incidents. We had an isolated Yoda incident, but bringing Darth Vader in is going to be very exciting. I assume he'll be involved in Siege of Lothal. Also, a good idea is tying these rebels to the other rebels. Kind of season 1 is an isolated these rebels incident, and then we'll get a larger plot, I assume, in terms of more connected rebel forces. We get the reveal of of whatever the person's name in as Shoka, who's apparently a character from the Clone Wars series, which I did not watch, so I cannot comment on her. But that was interesting that we get the face of this behind the scenes character we've seen the entire series. I thought it was an interesting decision that only Hera actually knows about what's going on. Like, she doesn't even tell Kanan about everything. I thought that was an interesting thing, and all the torture scenes with Kanan, they were fine. I didn't tire of them too much. A lot of times when you just keep going back to these type of information torture extraction scenes, they can be a little bit repetitive, but I thought it was fine here. So overall, the last 3 episodes were good. I think Fire Across the Galaxy stands out. I don't really remember much of Rebel Resolve, which is probably not a good... I mean, I remember, I just watched it, but I can't distinguish it from what else I saw. So that's probably not a great sign. And Call to Action was fine. Overall, with this season, maybe I'll talk about this more at the end of the Siege of Lothal video review. But that is kind of a season 2 thing, it seems. So... overall, I thought this season was a fairly strong first season of television for a show. It did not blow me away. There were a few standouts. The standout episodes to me were Spark of the Rebellion, Rise of the Old Masters, Breaking Ranks, and Fire Across the Galaxy. Also, Idiot's Array I also really liked. Oh, and Path of the Jedi too. So that's about half the season, right? That's good. I just listed half the episodes. Those are the ones that I really, really did enjoy. And the other thing I'd say is there weren't really duds. The biggest, quote-unquote dud is Fight or Flight, and even that episode was fine. It was pretty consistent. I think with season 2, you're hoping for more kind of standout television. Like I wouldn't say any of these episodes were super, super high critical quality, matching the best of some other animated shows like Steven Universe or Legend of Korra. I don't think it had quite achieved that level of critical quality, but it did have a solid 6 episodes, which I thought were quite very, very good. So I really did enjoy this season overall, and thanks for watching. I'll be doing Siege of Lothal next. Subscribe for more Star Wars Rebels content and other animated content at overlyanimated.com.